Welcome to the Walking in the Word series. You need some simple Bible study tools as you get ready to study the Bible. Now, keep in mind that I do not care what brand you use, what brand you get. I don't get paid for any of this. I just want to give you the tools that I use and that you can get, like you can get whatever fits your needs best. And that supports the way that you learn. And you'll find you fall into this rhythm and habits of the tools that you use. But here's some that I use that I found that are really helpful when studying the Bible. So obviously, this is the first of the Walking in the Word series. Like, what Bible study tools do I need as we go into these passages of scripture? The things that, if you're going to do it with me while I do it, you'll have in front of you. Okay. So, first, you need to get a good Bible. It's got to be a study Bible, though. And I have a few study Bibles that I use. And the reason why I use them is because they have notes and quotes in the study Bible. So, this one is an apologetics study Bible, which I really enjoy. And then I also have this is a New King James Version study Bible. As you can see, it's a little bit more tattered and torn than the apologetics one. But what I like about it is that it has notes and quotes at the bottom because it's going to give you the context that you need in order to answer the questions that have to be answered before you dive into any study Bible or any Bible study, like if you're going to study a book. Okay. So again, I have a CSB, I have an NKJV, there's NLTs, whatever works best for you. The translation doesn't really matter. But I will leave a link to a YouTube video for when I discuss on my podcast about translations and versions of the Bible if you want to get into that, or you can just listen to episode 188 on Her Faith Inspires podcast. So I also use the ESV Study Bible journals. Now, I love these, and I love these because they have spaces for you to write on one side, and then in between, like there is space for the words here. If you want to like circle, which we will be doing, underline, which we will be doing, highlighting, all of that. So this is the whole book of Genesis. That's what I'm personally studying at the moment. So, I mean, you can get them book by book. You could even get like a big stash of them if you wanted to. So that's a really good tool because you can write in it and take notes in it and things like that. So ESV, it's a different version than your NKJV. Obviously, your CSB gives you a little bit more and a different wording so that way you can understand better. You can highlight easier. Like I said, it's a good amount of space for note taking, and they're great, but they don't have notes and quotes in that. This doesn't have notes and quotes, and you do need that. So you do need a study Bible. So if you're going to get what, like, you'd be like, why do you have this and your study Bible? Well, because one, this is an ESV, this is a CSB. So things are worded differently for one. And two, this one I can take notes in. This one, my study Bible, I can take notes in, but it's a lot more difficult. Okay. So I have it because they're study tools, because when you study, you're looking at all different resources. Next thing I have is a bunch of pens and highlighters. So my pens and highlighters, I keep in this. I mean, you can pick whatever bag you want, right? You could throw them in your desk drawer. It doesn't really matter. But I have these pens, and these are specific highlighters that I use in different colors. That's the whole point. Like everyone has a preference on what kind of pen they like, maybe because it glides. It's a fine point pen. I use the fine point pens. I don't care. It doesn't really matter what brand, like I said before. What matters is that you have a bunch of different colors. So keep in mind that these will bleed through. This is a Precise V5, I think. They do bleed through to the other side here and there. I can still see what's on the other side of the Bible, like the page of the Bible, but it's still, the pages of the Bible are usually pretty thin. These are specific for These are ZBrights. They're specific for Bible study, but I will say that when you first get them and they haven't been used much, they're obviously a lot darker marker. So when you turn your page, I feel like these bleed more than the pens, but you get a pack of these on Amazon. They come in like 4 or 5 different colors. I get the big pack of these. I love the purple, the pink, all the colors. You do need them because, like I said, we're going to be circling different words, repeated words, action words, underlining things. And if you're a visual learner, this is going to help. it's going to help. So pens and highlighters, plus it's fun. Like, I don't know what it is about stationery, but I love it. And then the next thing you want to get are commentaries. Now, I don't have hard copies of commentaries because I have Logos, the Bible study software. So you do want to get a good commentary that will help you with maybe understanding some of the historical context. You're going to want to maybe get something that tells you more about the author, tells you more about the culture, things like that. If you don't have a commentary, you can also go to gotquestions.com. If you're going to study the book of John, you can type in about the author of John. You can type in the book of John with gotquestions.com. It'll all come up. I trust them as a source. You can go to the Bible Project and watch a video before you get into studying a book. And then Bible Hub, the app, you can also use that for commentaries, which is what I do as well. They have a lot of different resources and commentaries. So use those after you observe the text and read it yourself. Read it in a couple different versions, read it in your study Bible and read it yourself and observe the text. And then you can go back to the commentary, but don't make that your first thing. But when you study, you will want to read good commentaries. Okay. And then finally, if you're like me who likes to rewrite the things, I get just like, take me back to middle school and get the trusty old junior high folder, right? The three-pronged one. And then I will write things that stand out to me in here because I mean, I'm like, if I have a question that I think I need to answer, I'll write the question down. If I write something that I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know that and I want to remember it, I'll write that down with the chapter, verse, etc. So it really helps solidify it. Now you don't have to have that, especially if you have this and want to keep it all together. But those are some of the Bible study tools that I use. And that's pretty much it. Like if you have a Bible study tool that I didn't mention, and you think, hey, this is like a must have, then please leave it in the comment, recommend it for all of us and tell, we'll be able to go look it up for ourselves. So if you want to learn what questions that you must answer before you study any book of the Bible, well, we're going to talk about that next.